Hello.
Hello.
This is my turtle friend.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. His name is Donatello. My parents are here visiting, and this was one of my things that I had, I guess, so they brought it.
Aw.
That and
Childhood things.
my other childhood things like my baby blanket and shoes. Though I'm gonna put my baby shoes on my puppet, I think.
Are they bronzed?
No. That would be so hard to hold up. Anyway. Yeah, that would be hard. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome. We're nonsense people. I mean Dragonmount. Hello, Sparkle Spran and Royal Mistress. Gnomon Garden.
Yay. Hello.
We are Dragonmount. Yeah. Who are you? What's your name?
Crystal?
Yeah, Crystal? Right. Okay. Right. It's been a while. I haven't seen you
in a while.
It's been forever.
You abandoned me and then I abandoned you.
It's true. I did leave you kind of high and dry, but you did a great job.
We lost Facebook. I think we lost Instagram halfway through. It was technically not my finest hour, but it was good. I had fun.
Yeah. So for some reason, Facebook does not like these, which doesn't really matter at this point with Facebook, I guess. Like, I don't know. But Facebook does not like the streaming. Like half the time it's like, could not post comments to Facebook destinations or whatever. Arosa! What's up, Arosa? So yeah, I guess there's really nothing new going on, right? In Dragonmount land.
Not in Dragonmount land. Did you guys see the news about Rosamund? Did you see that? The skiing accident?
No, what happened?
She went skiing for Christmas, and I don't know exactly what happened, but like smashed up her face. And I only heard about it because I watched the Golden Globes last night, and she was wearing this like really gorgeous veil. And then they asked her about it, and she had like bruised up her face.
Let me get a picture up for people. I did not know that. Oh yeah, I could see she's got I mean, it's not that bad though, thankfully.
No, she said she had mostly healed, and I'm sure she's got on the, the professional makeup, but
yeah.
How scary.
Grab a picture for people. That's not good. I'm glad she's okay. Like she went to the Golden Globes, which I heard were an abysmal like disaster from a Did you watch them?
I did. I watched all of it. I always try to watch the award shows.
Yeah, me too. I completely missed it.
I hate that we never get none of the fantasy things ever get any love. But
no, never. Before we start pulling up pictures, we have someone that we should give. No, I can't play on words, fantasy and love into this right now. But we'll give some love to this other amazing person. Let's see who it is.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Yay, that was fun.
Hey,
Sharnise.
Hello, Jumbo.
Oh, you weren't here last week. That's hello in Swahili.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yes. We learned several words in Swahili last week, and we also learned a lot about Kwanzaa. I didn't know some of that stuff, and I grew up with a best friend who celebrated Kwanzaa.
Yep.
What's is it over, or is there another thing for this?
So last week was the last day. January 1st was the last day of Kwanzaa.
Okay. And that was the was it Faith was last week?
Faith, Amani, yes.
Proud of me for remembering.
Yeah. What's up?
I don't remember stuff hour to hour, so if I remember
I think
7 days ago. I have the picture of Rosamund. So did you hear what Crystal said? Rosamund got into a skiing accident?
I heard that. That's crazy. I'm glad that she was still able to attend the Golden Globes and tell us about her accident.
And walk into there and be, fine. Actually, you know what? I got a better version of this. Let me get a zoomable version so that we can actually like see her. It's a beautiful veil. Like that's a really nice veil.
It looks great. It looks intentional too. Like the whole outfit looks.
Yeah, it's perfect.
There we go. Yeah, she looks great. Yeah, she's got a couple of bruises. Yeah, she's okay. And it looks like she's been stressed out about it a little bit. Like she was maybe awake for a while. Yeah, she still looks beautiful. And that veil is pretty sick looking. You know what it is? It's a little Telrenriode, Lanfear.
Ooh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I could. Do I have a Lanfear saved in here still? Probably not. I have so many fucking pictures. No, I don't have a Lanfear in here. Oh no, wait, maybe I do. Is this one? Nope, that's Lulu. because Lanfear looked like her in the image that she had. All right, I'll get a Lanfear, a goth share Lanfear, so that we can compare. But that does look a lot like Lanfear's costume.
No, Gnome's telling us they're just shadows. She's not bruised.
Oh, okay. Well, she looks like she's a little flushed, maybe a little flushed, but whatever. She was there. She walked in, and nothing could have been worse than the clips that I saw of Jo Koy during that. Oh my god,
it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable.
Do you know anything about did you see any news on it? Oh man, apparently he bombed like terribly, like his jokes and stuff, and he was making like you know, it's a fine line on what you can joke about, obviously, but you can make jokes about things and not be making fun of the thing. Like you can have a joke on a topic and not be punching down at the thing. And all his jokes were just punching down at things, and then they weren't funny. Like they just also weren't funny. So like they didn't land.
He got booed at one point too.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And then he threw the writers under the bus and was like, it's all the jokes that you were laughing at are the ones I wrote. The ones that you're not laughing at were the writers. And I was like, oh, that's the clip that I saw. And I was like, oh man, I'm glad I didn't watch this.
Which is very, especially right after the writer's strike is very, not good. Not good.
Do you guys do this? I don't know. Other people, I've heard other people say this, but like when I watch TV, movie, anything, like really just watch anything, even just people in the world, like they especially embarrassing moments, like I get embarrassed, like to the point of where I have to get up and like walk out of the room sometimes. Like I can watch horror all day, no problem, because it's obviously fake, and like, but like embarrassing moments or like, like I just like I want to fold inside of myself like a freaking black hole or something. I can't.
No, it makes me uncomfortable.
Jo Koy, he's a stand-up comedian. Generally okay, like middle-ish stand-up comedian. He does a lot of Asian humor stuff. Some of it's a little meh. Like he does a lot of like accent-based stuff. Like Thai people are like this, and Vietnamese people are like this, and you know, whatever, and like different Asian cultures, stuff like that. But some of his older stuff was funny. Like I used to see him on BET a lot, like way back in the day when he first started, when he was like really young, and he was funny. But now, not so much.
I had an ex way back when, 20 years ago, that was a stand-up comedian, and so we went to a lot of comedy clubs. So I always like stand-up comedians, but it was just a rough night.
Yeah, his name is here. I'll post it in. That's his name, Jo Koy. He's been in a couple of like small bit roles and stuff like that and stuff too, but mostly just stand-up comedy. And then I guess like no one wanted to do it because like there's definitely more famous stand-up comedians that could have done that. I don't know why they picked Jo Koy. It's not like he's like going to be in a big movie or something coming out soon. I don't know.
I heard he only had a couple, like he had a really short amount of time to prepare too. It was very last minute.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, bombing is one thing, but then like it's the throwing his writers under the bus and like yelling at the audience that they don't get the joke and like things like that. Like I saw a couple of clips and I was like,
yeah, that sounds kind of cringe.
Yeah, it was a little cringe. I was like, I can't. Even just the clips that I saw on TikTok, I was like, like I felt the embarrassment in my soul. Like I was like, if that was me, I would just die on the stage because like, Anyway,
but at least Rosamund's okay. She's good.
Rosamund's okay, so that's good. I did see one clip of Jennifer Lawrence that was fucking. I love this woman so much. She was, you know how like when they announced the nominees for like a category, and they go around the room.
Yep.
When the camera went on her, you're not supposed to react to the camera. Like, I've never seen someone like, she looked directly at the camera and was like, she's like, she said, if I lose, I'm going to go. And I was just like, oh my God, I fucking love her. If you want to see something funny, obviously after we're done with our show, but if you want to see something really funny, Google Jennifer Lawrence, Jack Nicholson. There was like this, when she won the Oscar for Best Actress for Silver Linings Playbook, I think, the first one that she won, whichever one it was. Jack Nicholson, like, you know how like afterwards they interview you on the red carpet, and like, it's like after the shows are over, so like you could see all the people walking out behind them. You see Jack Nicholson kind of like in the background doing all, like, he just does this thing when he walks with his head, like he's just like, he's lost and he's like looking around, and he's got his glasses on, and it's, 10 o'clock at night, and he sees her, walks over, and then interrupts the interview and just says, I just want to say that, the picture that you did was great. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then he walks away, and she was like, oh my God. But yeah. So other than that, though, I did yesterday, right? Today's Monday. Yeah, yesterday on Sunday, Tavern Talk with the Puppets, my Felt brothers. We did episode 3, actually. So it was like,
oh, like you got to do it again. Yeah.
They're like we're like at the same pace for episodes, so it's perfect. And Allie and Gus from Wheel Takes were on, and I love getting to see first time readers reactions to stuff. So she was like, doing her giving her theories on things, and we were being quiet and not spoiling anything. Except Beth almost spoiled something, and Jansen almost spoiled something, but I was good. They didn't, but they were close. She put her she took her headphones off, and she was like, la 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 la. But how was your week been, Sharnise? Because I saw you last week, but how was your week? Was it good? Did you have a Mocha Girls Read meeting?
I did. I hosted a book club meeting on Saturday, and it was a really good meeting. It was a virtual meeting. I had about 20 people show up. Yeah. And we talked about the book Verity by Colleen Hoover. And what was incredible about the meeting is, so with my book club, we don't like shun you if you haven't read the book. Like, you're still welcome to come to the meeting if you haven't finished reading the book. You just have to understand that we're going to spoil it for you. What was dope is, for the very first time, I've been hosting Mocha Girls Read book club meetings since 2017. Every single month since 2017.
7 years. That's awesome.
Saturday was the very first time that everyone who came to the meeting read the book.
Oh shit.
Hey.
I was like, wow, people were really excited about this book. So it made for an incredible discussion. So I had fun.
I've never.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. I'm starting a book club here. And I've talked about it a little bit, and I know there's a lot of different like formats and ways to do it. Do you come with like questions prepared? Is it like the host or whoever picked the book? Like, do you kind of have a list of what points you want to bring up before you?
Yeah, okay. Definitely. So there's always a list of you can Google like list of book club discussion questions, right? They're general questions. And sometimes, depending on the book that you're reading, the author will include a list of discussion questions. But what I do is, because why should I reinvent the wheel, right? Mm-hmm. The person in Mocha Girls Read who does our Facebook chapter discussion, I just steal all her questions because they're really, really, really good. So I do have points, that I'd like to bring up. And sometimes the discussion just kind of takes its own direction depending on what people bring up. And and it's not always me. I lead the discussion, but what's great is it's not always me leading discussion. If you get what I'm saying, like, very interactive. We're very informal. It's a conversation. So yeah. But feel free to reach out to me about anything, logistics.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. There's only like 6 of us right now. We're a small group, but I'm hoping if we get consistent, maybe more people want to join. And Verity is actually the next book on the next down. I'm currently reading
oh my gosh,
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I was given Verity like 2 months ago, so it's the next one on there.
I can't wait. I want to talk to you when you read it.
Okay.
Please, I want to. Or if your book club discusses it, I would love to visit.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
we're putting book clubs together. This is awesome.
I still want to do the Wheel of Time book club, Tom. Like I'm still down to do that.
All right. Well, if you have some time after the show, we can talk about it. We can chat about it later too. See if anyone in the.
I have a snow day tomorrow, you guys. I don't have to work, so I'm excited.
Okay. I'm down. Yeah, we can chat about it. And if anyone in chat has any kind of thoughts or feelings on a Wheel of Time type book club, let us know, and we can, we'll put something together and see what sticks. What's Verity? Is it what's the book about?
It's a novel. It's a novel. It's I don't want to say what it's about.
Okay. I don't want to spoil. She's gonna read it, so
I would categorize it as like a psychological thriller.
Okay.
So I have not read any Colleen Hoover, and someone said this is very different from who Colleen Hoover is, but this is one of her best, is what I was told.
Well, that was one of the discussion questions.
Okay.
I asked everyone, have you ever read Colleen Hoover? And that's what I learned, because it was my first Colleen Hoover book as well. Okay. And everyone said that she has never, this was way off from what she normally, I think she's normally like a romance writer. And this has some romance elements, but it's definitely more of a psychological.
Oh, wow. Yeah. She's got a lot of them.
Yeah. So,
Point of Retreat, Slammed. Yeah. These. Yeah. Okay. So they're mostly like.
Are you reading reviews? Are you reading reviews about Verity?
No. I was just going through her titles, and then they have says like romance. All right, that's cool though. I I haven't read a lot of modern. I don't know what to call it. Like I'm bad at genre-ing things.
Mm-hmm.
But like modern fiction, like fiction set in modern day.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read a lot of that. Like Dan Brown or Stephen King, things that are set in modern day. I haven't read a lot of stuff like that. Everything I've read is fantasy-esque, science fiction-esque, or historical fiction. I love historical fiction.
I do too.
I just what I really love about it is seeing them tie together actual historical elements with fantastical like their made up stuff, and seeing how they make them mesh together. I like that, which is why I really like the show Outlander a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, a cheesy romance show, but honestly, a lot of the meat of the show is pretty good story, like Scottish history and then American history and European history. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. Speaking of lots of different histories, though, the Wheel of Time has that, and we're going to be watching The Daughter of Night tonight, so that's fun. Episode 4. It's a nice I don't know about you guys. Tell me what you think, but my favorite scenes in the shows too so far, actually. But my favorite scene, I want to say, like, pretty much every scene where it's two Forsaken talking to each other are in my top favorite scenes in the books. Just because you get to glean bits and pieces of the Age of Legends and who these people were maybe a little bit before, because, they're being more personal. Like, they're less, I'm the leader, they're having like a conversation with like a peer essentially. Mm-hmm. But how do y'all feel about that, Sharnise?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I love when we anytime I'm reading a book and I'm inside the head of the villain, I enjoy it. So
See
yeah.
motivations and see what they're thinking and stuff like that. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Crystal?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it also gives you more, if not sympathy, insight into who they are, which we've talked about before. That's something I love about the show, is just like we are getting more of the bad guys' motivations, which just makes them more human to you than just a villain. They become a person.
They're interesting too.
Yeah.
It's more interesting to watch when it's, like they have, I don't want to say legitimate, but they have more deeper reasons for things than just like, I want to live forever or I want to be uber powerful.
Right.
Like I like when it's deep, a little bit deeper than that.
Well, that's why I love what the show is doing with our villains, because it gives them a lot more depth. And
we got a bot! Yay! Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm excited when we get bots.
Because Leandrin, who would have thunk that I would have given two squats about her or her plight or her reasoning for being a dark friend, or so yeah.
Kathy, when Kathy talked to her, she was like, I hate you and I love you. She's like,
yeah.
I hate you because you're making me like Leandrin. And she's like the most unlikable character in the book. And like, you're amazing. And you like, your acting is amazing. You are amazing. And then the writing for this character is fantastic. And like, I'm feeling for Leandrin. And she was laughing.
Yep.
She also talked about how like, I had submitted a question for her to ask, like, does she, because a lot of people, when they play villains in movies or TV shows or whatever, they have to kind of, to be able to get the feeling of like, dislike or hatred for a character as a villain, to their protagonists, they need to maybe not interact with them a lot or not be be friends with them off camera to be able to really tap into that. And she said, so Kathy asked her if she has to do anything like that. And she was like, no, I just act very well. She answered way more than that. She talked for like 2 minutes, but she said she started out with that. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious. She's like, that's what acting is. That's just, some people have to do the method acting thing, but I don't have to do that. I just, I just act very well. Yeah, I was like, you do.
Because I'm dope.
That is what she said. That is exactly what she said. I love her. I love her so much. She's great. And I think we have those up on our YouTube page. So if anyone wants to go check out the interviews, there's a bunch of them up there. We get some Leandrin in this episode. There's some interesting Leandrin goings on in this episode, even though it's mostly Arand and Lanfear stuff. But there's some other stuff too. So soon I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna host a watch party over on Twitch. So for those who want to watch over on Twitch, navigate over to Twitch and get that going. If you're just gonna follow along and like look for timestamps or whatever, I'll have this handy dandy timer going, so you'll be able to just, follow that and go along with that. I'll reset it to 0 and I'll align the timer to the show once it gets started over on Twitch. When we host the watch party, I have no control over like rewinding or fast forwarding. I just press play and pause, and that's pretty much it. So I'll align them once it starts playing. But I just want to give everyone like a minute or two to get over there. So one other fun fact is, I think it was Davina. Yeah. Davina Lamont. When we spoke to her, she told me that, the stunt double, I guess, or body double, I don't know what you would call the woman who is covered in blood. That's not Natasha O'Keefe. It's her body double or stunt person or whatever you want to call it. They filmed that scene when she's in the cave on location in a cave. And she said it was freezing. So she was like, she was covered in a liquid and naked. So she was very, very cold, but she did an amazing job, and she was talking, talking her up and stuff like that. So I just thought that was interesting. So, something to watch for when we see that scene, to see if we could see like any shivering or anything like that, I guess. And she said also like that whole cave area is like, that's a location. Obviously they dressed up the top of the cave to look like, I guess, the Flatiron Building, and then like whatever like another skyscraper type thing. But the actual rocky outcroppings and all that stuff like that is from the location, from that cave. So I'm interested. I wonder if that's in Prague. If I go to Malkirkon, I want to see about going to some of those places. That would be really cool. Is anyone I think I know the answer for Crystal, and it's going to be no. But Sharnise, do you have any aspirations for trying to go to Malkirkon this coming year?
I always have aspirations. I'm doing one trip this year, and that is to Antigua.
Oh, right. We talked last week about that.
That is why I'm missing WatCon, because it's at the same time as WatCon. It's in July, exact same dates as WatCon. And so that's where my money is going. Money's going to Antigua.
Yeah, it makes sense. And, Antigua are going to be nice too. Like the beaches, have some Mai Tais, or, some drinks with frilly umbrellas and stuff in them, and just tweet us a picture or something. And then we'll miss you, and also probably be a little jealous.
I'm a little jealous because I've never been to WatCon, so this will be my third one that I'm missing. So
I feel you, Noman Garden. The only reason my wife and I are trying to go is because, like, we probably shouldn't, but it's both her 40th birthday and our 10th wedding anniversary.
Aww.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and we never really went on a proper honeymoon. We moved to Florida. That was we used any money that we had to pay for a moving truck to go to Florida. So this is our chance to do something. And I've also never been to Europe. She's been to Spain on a class trip, actually, which was interesting. But I've never been, and I really want to go really, really bad.
When is it? What time of year is it?
September 7th and 8th and 9th, I think. 7, 8, 9, I think. And if anyone is watching that's going, there's an awesome, what's called an ossuary nearby. It's, I forgot the exact definition of it, but what it is it's like a place where they store lots of bones, human bones, like, of the deceased. And this is a church. It's like 45 minutes away from the hotel in Prague where we're going to be. And the majority of like the accents and the interior and exterior of the church are human bones.
Wow. Yeah.
Like there's just like accent pieces in the church, like whole walls of like, the frame around a window and like the borders and stuff, just human femur bones and like skulls and shit. And it's like, it was like a thing they did. I believe it was, for like, because they couldn't bury everybody, they would, and to intern them on consecrated holy ground, they would put them in the church. So they're part of the church forever. But it's just really awesome looking. And it's like I said, like 45 minutes away from the hotel in Prague. I just forgot the name of it. But if you Google like ossuary Prague, you'll find it with an O. September 6th through the 8th. So I was close. I said 7, 8, 9. All right. I'm going to press play over in Twitch. So if you're over on Twitch, in a couple of seconds, you should see like a thing that says the host is starting a watch party. Would you like to watch? You can mute us in Twitch and keep watching on YouTube for chat purposes, whatever you want to do, or you can, mute us and just not listen to our nonsense. Whatever you want. I won't hate. Okay, it should be starting.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. So let me get this timer going so that we can get that right for our friends who are not watching via Twitch. We are at 15:27. I'll get it. I got it. Yeah, I think I got it there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so if you're not watching on Twitch, we're not skipping the it says the watch party ended.
Front row.
I didn't stop it.
Oh.
Okay. Let me start it again. That's weird. Okay. The watch party ended for some reason. I'm going to start it again.
I got really sad. It was like, until next time. I'm like,
hey, listen. So Amazon owns Twitch, and obviously this is a watch party. We haven't had any problems with it in like a year. So I'm just hoping they didn't drop the ball and whatever the hell is going on with this again. But all right, I started the watch party again, so we'll see if that works. Maybe it started at the end of it looked like it might have started at the end of the episode.
Oh, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm starting it over again. Hopefully that works. Maybe Kathy was it did it again, I think. No, right? No. This is just the recap in the beginning. Yeah, okay, this is the recap. Okay. I think we're good. We'll see in a second.
Wait, are we good though?
Episode preview. It says preview of episode 4. Yeah. So why is it a preview?
Oh, yeah, you're only playing the preview. That's why it keeps ending.
Why is it doing that?
Not the actual episode. This is just the preview.
Okay.
It was only 42 seconds.
Why are you giving me previews of episodes, Amazon Watch Parties?
Yeah, you chose the preview instead of.
I chose.
We're nowhere right now yet. No, we'll get there.
Yeah, nowhere. I'm a failure. Oh, okay. So for some reason, this is new because this was not here last week. The first 8 choices in the list are the previews of each episode. And then I have to scroll down and then they have the episodes. That was not like that last week, I promise. All right. Now the actual episode is playing and I will fix the timer once I get the episode on. Wow. I'm the worst. See, it's not just Crystal. Like if this didn't happen to you, I'm worse. So you're fine.
Okay, here we go.
Twitch and I are not friends.
And I think I got it. 18. Oh no, it restarted. We're at 22 seconds on the thing. Should be close. And good. Okay. We're lined up. So the timer on my screen and the timer on our watch party on Twitch is lined up now. So you should be able to follow along if you're not watching on Twitch, which was a mess. So hopefully, you had a better experience than I did with learning how to press play on a TV show. Yeah, it should be up on Twitch. I actually opened it up in a separate tab and it's working. You might have to refresh the page, Arosa. Try refreshing and it might pop up.
Well, I see it too on Twitch.
Okay, perfect. So just a cookie problem for Arosa. So this is the place that I was talking about that they shot on location.
I mean, it's beautiful.
It really is.
And it's kind of scary at the same time.
Yeah, they chose well. Dialing up the horror. You see that mountain on the left?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Here, check this out. It looks a lot like that building.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Flatiron building in Manhattan, which used to be the Tor. It was the Tor offices, like the Tor headquarters, for a very long time. And let me give Sharnise and you guys. You can hide my ugly face. And that top window there, the very, very top window, that was Tom Doherty's office.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I got to go there once when we did the. Yeah, I was a tower guard. So it was the Towers of Midnight signing.
Wow.
It looks there is a Flatiron in Fort Worth, but the Flatiron in Manhattan is the Tor offices. So it was I feel like it was definitely a nod to that one. So Sharnise, what do you think about these different versions of the seals that we're getting in this?
I like them. I like that they're bigger than what I pictured when I was reading the books. Um, yeah, I like them.
I
Even
had
the right, like you can hold it in your hand, right? Like
yeah, they were like a
Yeah.
dinner plate.
yeah.
I didn't see her shiver or anything, so
Mm-mm.
damn. But excuse me. I had a theory. Oh, what's up, Max? I think these are going to be tied to that, but I think they're going to work it a little different. So that's what I was about to say. So I had a theory way back in the beginning when we only had seen season 1 and we saw what the seal looked like, that the seals were going to be physical locations that were at that time I had said like set up like a ritualistic thing maybe around Shayol Ghul. But you know, obviously that isn't the case, but it could have been, and then during the breaking they got moved around.
Huh. Okay.
Because if you watch the if you look at the extras during that scene when Ishamael is taking Lanfear out of the thing, it says, I think it says outside Kyrian. Like, so like it's near Kyrian, this thing. And then also the seal is broken, which is the moon dial that was outside Kyrian, which is the piece of Quendiar that Bile Doman gave to Moiraine in episode 1. And this is the first episode, by the way, that I have all of the screenshots and stuff left over from when I did the deep dive. So I have like a full series of screenshots ready to go for when we do the book spoiler talk at the end. I also really like that they made Maureen's sister younger than her in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It really hits harder because I felt like in the books they didn't lean hard enough on the psychology that, you know, what the Aes Sedai have to go through psychologically as someone who lives way longer than a normal human, like for like family and stuff like that. And just the small visuals that we get from this and Leandrin, I think, really drive that home much better than the books, because they don't really do anything with it in the books.
Mm-hmm.
They just talk about it.
I don't feel like they humanize the Aes Sedai as much in the books as they have in the show.
Me too.
Yeah, I do too. Sparkle Screen, it's a great one.
Compare Avenir putting on her armor to the first scene of Moiraine. Okay. I could see that when she's putting on her stuff. Yeah.
That's a good call out.
And obviously, not a hood
Mm-hmm.
from Hoodgate 2023. I was always firmly in the hair camp.
It's a little.
I could see it. I could see how people thought it.
It's a little.
Yeah, she's got like a little poof going on there.
She had good hairspray after the fire. The soot helped push it up.
Soot, right? Soot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's everyone knows. Everyone knows you just rub a little soot in your hair and that'll provides a great hold. All my experience with hair. Yeah.
The tower's really grown on me. I was a little, I've always loved the architecture inside, but I was a little bit iffy about how the outside looked when the show first started. But the more I watch it, the more I really like it. It does feel imposing. It feels large.
Yeah. When I think I still have the idea. So like when you look at it like this, think about this. Look at the smallest building you can find. It's still a fucking building. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge. And like the trees, those trees are big trees. Like when you see them when they're walking in the streets, and look how big the fucking tower is comparatively. Huge. It is freaking huge. Yeah, her clothes, yeah, I could see that, Max. Or Maxwell, I'm sorry. Her clothes do look very informal here. Like she's just kind of hanging out. Avenir's clothes in the beginning. It's her just, I'm gonna stay in the house dress. I also really like the change of putting the accepted. Well, I mean, there's an obvious practical reason why they did it. The accepted bands on the wrists instead of the bottom of the dress.
On the dress, yeah.
They're not going to do full body shots all the time.
Yeah.
There's going to be way more torso shots, head to the waist shots. So seeing the wrists are way more, will happen way more than that. And that makes sense.
Hear me out.
I don't really like them. They look cool.
I like long hair in a man. Like my husband has long hair. I don't like Lan's hair down. I'm not. I didn't like it. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, I prefer his hair up, back, like that.
I don't know if it's too casual or too. I don't know. I just think he looks odd with it.
He does. He does look weird. I love the interactions here with the Aes Sedai, the other, the retired Aes Sedai, the warders, and I guess Alana's family.
Yeah, this is Alana's
Harem's family. No, they're Alana's family, right?
Alana's family.
Yeah, it almost does seem too short.
It's also reminiscent of Nynaeve's testing. The land that was in Nynaeve's testing was a relaxed land, like a, he literally let his hair down. Like the saying goes, I'll let your hair down, relax. Yes. The first person in the Wheel of Time to go to the bathroom ever. The first person ever in the Wheel of Time to go to the bathroom.
I think it's called the necessary, Tom. Come on.
I really want to ask Rafe really bad if he put that in there because of that. Like, the joke about how they never go to the bathroom.
They never go to the bathroom. No one ever has their period.
Nope.
No.
They barely eat. I think it's a really interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. They're a great foil for the Damodrids. They're just the way they interact with each other and the love that they obviously have for each other, and also like the joking that they go back and forth with. That's a good point. And I'm going to say it every time we see them, but I still fully attest that I want like a spin. Like I want someone to write fan fiction that's basically the Golden Girls, but with Varen, no wait, it's not Van Dien, Adelace, and either Rosamund or Alana. To be honest, I'll take either of them.
Cramp in my leg.
No.
I didn't stretch after I took my walk.
Gotta drink water too. You have to drink. That's my 2024 goal.
Got it right here.
I'm trying to do 110 ounces a day, and I'm swimming.
That's what this is. I have another one of these that's only water and or Pedialyte. And I put and then I have one that I put alcohol in, and that's this one.
Yeah.
Pedialyte is actually really good for hydration. I only know that because the former Amerlin seat of Tarvalon.net, she runs the Pedialyte factories in the US. She's the
really?
Yeah, she's the I forgot her title, but she's like in charge of the Pedialyte factories in the US. And she like told me like about the scientific breakdown of everything. It was really interesting. It basically just makes your body absorb more water in your hydration, so it doesn't just go through you.
We keep the little sticks, little powder sticks on hand.
The marketing people have for years have been wanting to market it as a hangover cure, because they feel like they would get better response from it. But since Pedialyte has such like a strong child care thing and baby thing, they don't want to change it. I love the freaking music in this episode. And all of these exterior shots of Kyrian.
Mm-hmm.
For a hot second, when I first saw this, I thought that was Sophie Akonedo from the side. I was like, the Admiral is there? This is so... Logain... we've seen a lot of interesting mentors for Rand in this in the show than in the books for early Rand. Like early Rand in the books, it's pretty much just Lan, right?
Yeah.
Where Rand in the show has gone through Lan and Moiraine a little and Tam obviously, and then now he's had a little bit of Logain. He had Errol, which was really nice. I really liked his interactions with Errol so much.
Yeah.
The sword forms and the way that they also they I think they displayed PTSD very well. Like they did it with respect. Like I think they did it respectfully, but they also did it in a way that was true and made you really feel for that character very quickly. I fully thought that his name was Herod, and I thought they were going to make him Herod Fell, and I was really excited, but...
I really love the interactions between these two.
How many people...
He plays Mad very well. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. How many people thought that she was talking about herself when she was talking about like, oh, as a channeler who's cut off from the one power, you want to just kill yourself? Obviously.
A double entendre.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. She's talking about both of them.
The dragon's fangs are fading away. Yeah, I noticed that. That's fun. From Logain's stuff. And then, so we were talking to, like I said, we were talking to Allie and Gus about episode 3, and Allie, I think, or it was Allie or Gus pointed out, and I hadn't noticed the moment before, but it was like, they said the moment that Rand like decided he didn't want to learn from Logain is when Logain shows a cruelty toward like the common people, the peasants in Kyrian. And that was like the moment that he did it. And I went back and rewatched that episode and then this episode again today. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could see it. Like, it's not the madness that drives him away. It's Logain's indifference toward the common people or peasants or whatever they call them in Kyrian. And I'm really hoping they go back to when Rand comes back later on and, kind of is running the city. Like the party where he's there with a bunch of nobles. And they kind of joke about the hunt for the horn and that being a way to get rid of the poor people in the city. Like, I remember you when you said, blah blah blah, like, and gets angry or whatever, or at least just has some sort of callback to that of him wanting to be like, no, we're changing this. Oh my, the mopping. I like that we get to see more of the tower too, other than the one corridor outside the warders' training yards. Ooh, hot warder number 5. So do you think he's trying
old enough to? Go ahead.
I was going to say, is he auditioning a little, you think?
So say he's selling himself. I like that he's like,
like, hey, you want a warder? You need a warder? You're not going to choose red, right?
Right. Because look at me, I'm here.
I'm right here.
Right here. Pick me.
And there's our girl with another red. And then this, so we'll see in a minute here when she goes and confronts Liane, but that is the information about what's going on with the Seanchan and stuff. So the red have some pretty good eyes and ears, I guess. What'd you say, Arosa? You want to see that? You want to see? Is it just because you want to just see him again, or do you just want to see that warder again? Because I wouldn't blame you if you want to just see him again.
He's very handsome.
Yeah, I think I have a good screenshot of him for later too. Again, some more awesome ear wear.
Yeah, that's.
That's a completely different one than like the Rosamund Pike ones that we saw and the Alana ones and Turok's. This is like a spike all the way through. It's not like armor. Ooh, it's like a weapon because she's green. She was blue, but she chooses green again. She's a green in heart in the books.
Forgive me for getting comfortable.
Oh no, be comfortable. Sparkle's friend is there with you apparently.
I have my fuzzy pillow.
I have my pajama pants on, so we're good.
Oh yeah, me too. I always do though.
You can't see them. I have my Ahsoka Tano pajama pants that I got for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Because that's the magic of vlogging. You only see me from here, so I can wear pajamas.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Love this version of Elias and the wolves too. I have no notes on the wolves, the wolf visions, nothing. I have a small question about why Hopper licking Perrin's leg made it not infectious, but we can let that go for now.
I figured we'd eventually find out about that.
Maybe wolves have other powers.
I feel like the whole wolf arc, I feel like we have a lot more to go through.
Yeah.
Maybe season 3 will get some.
Hopefully. Okay. So we'll wait for my deeper thoughts on that later, because it's a spoiler for book 4, and we're going to stay with books 1 through 3 for now. But I have some thoughts on that specifically that I would love to see. Another thing that I feel like was a little bit of a ball dropped in the book. Though, no, you see Darkhounds early on. So Darkhounds are one of the things. I know we get some good Darkhound wolf scenes way later on, but I feel like they should be like obvious opposite sides of the coin constantly. Like, I feel like they should be pitted against each other more often throughout the series.
I can't do the raw meat thing here. This makes me feel icky.
If it makes you feel any better, that is a flavorless gelatin that they're eating. Perrin's like,
I don't know how. I don't
go
know
ahead.
how talking to wolves protects your intestines from the raw meat.
So what I think they're doing, and tell me what if you think I'm wrong, and chat, let me know what you guys think too. Is I think what they're going to try to do with Elias, especially with this part, like with the raw meat, and once you go longer, you'll be more wolf, and then like later on when he tells Perrin like they aren't your pack, we are your pack, the wolves are your pack. You forget about the humans. Is the gonna mirror his violence, axe, hammer, pacifism type thing, where he needs to kind of be balanced and not be too far one or the other. So he's not going to give fully over to the wolf and the animal, and he's not going to give completely over to violence or pacifism. He's going to be a balance, and I think that's going to play into that as well.
Oh, hey, Hopper.
Yay! Now I'm sad again.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I think Marcus looks great with the yellow eyes too.
Yeah.
I'm so happy they're permanent now. I was worried that they were going to make it like he wolfs out or something and like shifts and like has his wolf powers on and or off when his eyes are yellow. But I'm glad it was just like, he was, slowly moving into it and not that. So, since we're full spoilers for the show, one of my theories, and this scene goes into it a little bit here, is Alana might be a dark friend, and so might Maxim. So Maxim lies to Lan a lot.
Yeah,
and he's really shifty and like shady in some of the stuff that he does, specifically with Lan for Alana. Like he's spying for them a lot. And then later on, and when we get to it later on, I'll show you, but I think I have a still image and I'll pull it up in a few minutes of there's a shot in, it's either the 7th episode or the 8th episode when all of the Aes Sedai and warders are gathered in the court outside of wherever they are in Kyrian when the Amerlin shows up. And Maxim has his hand like this.
Yep.
Which is the Black Odd, like we're Black Aja, or a dark friend, like just tell other dark friends that you're a dark friend. And he has standing there like this. And maybe he just did it by accident, but I don't think Rafe does stuff like that by accident. So either both Maxim and Alana, and or all three of them, or maybe just Maxim. That would be hard for a warder to do. But since his bond is masked all the time, like he says in the scene,
except for in battle and
when they bone,
and then,
on the battlefield and in bed.
So if it's just him, what would his why be? Like his reason for it?
I don't know. Maybe the relationship triangle that they have going on, because he obviously feels some way about that.
Yeah, true.
When he talks about it to him, he obviously he feels a way about that. He's not entirely happy with it.
I love how her costuming here feels more like armor. Like the fabric is very stiff. She doesn't have her powers anymore, but this is like the armor she has now.
It looks like chainmail that she's wearing under there.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the shirt later on when she takes that off when Rand goes to sleep later, but when she takes like it's a kimono too. It's another very Kyrian outfit. It looks like a kimono dress.
Yep.
So it's like a mixture of that French and Japanese stuff that we talked about last time too. So awesome.
I'm gonna go camping here. I'm gonna camp right here.
Does look really nice. Oh, that just reminded me of the other thing was when Rand gets very upset with Lanfear, when she, or Celine, when she laughs about knowing that the hunt for the horn is just a ploy to get rid of the poor people. Like, yeah, of course I knew. Like, he says, did you know that? And she like laughs. Like, of course I know that. Who gives a crap? And he's like, oh, and then he leaves her there. So like, he's like, you know, he's all for being okay with them and all of their other vices. But once it's like this dismissal of people just because of their standing in, you know, finance or class or caste or whatever, that's when he signs off. He is pretty vain. Maxim, I think you're talking about there, Roof Mistress. But yeah, he comes off as one of those like pretty villains, you know, like the ones that you don't suspect right away, but then it's like, I think this was the shot too, right here, when everyone like the hood versus hair shot.
It looks less hoodish to me here than it does when she's.
Oh no, there it is.
It's when she's here.
Yeah. We can't see the rest of her hair, so yeah. I mean, I could see why people were Team Hood. And if anyone doesn't know what that means, there was a whole like, I don't know if you remember back in when TikTok first started, was is the dress blue or is the dress white? This was, we think Lanfear's wearing a hood. Or no, that's just her hair.
It was blue or yellow, blue or gold. That dress.
Yeah.
Was there not one, like, at least brown Aes Sedai that was curious about an inn named the Crescent Inn?
I know, right? The Crescent Moon Inn, run by this beautiful woman who popped up out of nowhere.
Right. Like, nobody suspected anything?
If there's one thing about people in the Wheel of Time, it's that communication is pretty much a huge failure on all levels in every people's and organization.
That's funny, Maxwell. I grew up somewhere like this. Planes, helicopters, drones.
Sounds like an army base or a military base. So I was very confused with this whole Min Matt thing. Like I didn't know where they were going, which I thought was great. Cool. Like a storyline that I know nothing about in the Wheel of Time. Like I get to be surprised and learn about it. But I was just about to say, Maxwell, like I really love these scenes with the two of them together, the bonding that they're doing, and just they seem to be like a lot of fun. Like I'd love to go drinking with them.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't really see. Do either of you see this Min with this Rand? Like I can't see them together right now.
I think the reason is I don't think they've interacted enough.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
I mean, she could have had her vision.
We have to see the chemistry.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I saw them. I saw it a little bit better with Elaine and Avienda, but they actually have interaction. So Avienda only a little from afar, but the Elaine stuff, yeah. So I guess so. We just need to see them on screen together. But they have a lot of relationship building to do with the two of them very quickly.
Yep.
So you think Arosa? You think she compelled the Foregate? Okay, that's probably easier than bringing a whole bunch of individual Dark Friends in. But I thought maybe it might be Dark Friends, but that does make a little bit more sense. That maybe she just compelled everybody.
Yeah, that's a simple solution.
I also think that she's compelling Rand a bit here. Not like full on compelling him, but like just twisting it a little bit so that she can influence his decisions. There's a particularly strong scene at the end of this episode where it made me think that, and I'll point it out. But it's like it's particularly like when Rand is doing something that she doesn't want him to do, and it's usually like, I'm going to leave to protect you. Then she will go up to him, tell him not to, essentially, and touch his face. And then he'll be like, oh, all right, I'll listen to what you're saying.
Huh. Okay. I'll have to look for that. I hadn't noticed that before.
The scene just before the cabin in the woods sex scene it's really strong in that one scene. So, I mean, it's happened a couple of times already, but that scene in particular is pretty strong. I'll make sure to point it out.
I don't think I would ever want to go into this room again after going through the arches. Like, I just don't see myself wanting to go back and...
Yeah, it's too triggering.
Especially after what she went through, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She does say here that it's starting to fade, the memories, but I'm guessing the trauma will always be there. Because that's right on par for Wheel of Time.
Oh. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that is heartbreaking, Maxwell. Oh, God. Which, so Sanaa Hamri did not direct this episode, but she directed the last episode with Nynaeve doing her stuff. No, wait, did she? Maybe she directed this episode. I know she directs no, she did this one too. So Sanaa was really gung-ho when we had a chance to talk to her. She talked about how she wanted to dial up the horror in this season, and not just like physical horror, monsters, blood, violence, but psychological horror. And I think they did it like she did last episode and this episode, and she does episodes 7 and 8, and I think both of those are great for psychological horror. Episode 7, I think, is Egwene torching her tree, and a lot of stuff with the Suldam and the Damane, and yeah.
Which is one of my favorite scenes of the season, is the tree.
Glenn, what up? We are, if you check out my timer, we're 35 minutes in. 35 minutes and 13 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like, you could say whatever you want about the writing and the changes and the whatever, but like the writers for this show have done a really good job in invoking feeling, at least for me. I could say, like, I fucking cried when Hopper died, and then like seeing his scene here again was a little tough. I laugh a lot, especially like this scene. This was funny. And then Ivan and Lan, he lasted 10 minutes this time. Like seeing the warders interact with each other is great too. Something that we really never got in the books, like this camaraderie between the warders as like brothers in arms type thing. I think it was Crystal, the last time we watched this, was it you that talked about it? That I can't remember. It might have been Ebony. The scars on Ivan's chin, they kind of look tribal, like it may be a cultural thing. Was it you that said that?
No, I think it was Ebony.
It was Ebony? Okay. Like it might, like maybe it's like whatever culture he comes from, that's like a thing. Because it doesn't look like a scar. It doesn't just look like a wound from battle.
No,
it looks very, it looks very intentional, and they're all very symmetrical. So it's an interesting thing. And we see the at the very least, the Shanchin 100% do that. They have scarification all over their faces and head, the ones that shave their head. It's all right, Glenn. We won't hold it against you. I wonder. Yeah, I think Basan does have some scarring on his face as well, but it looks like wounds. Like he has like those like stereotypical like warrior, like deep scar across his cheek. I think I don't remember. We get very little Basan and Rena, but I do really enjoy the two of them a lot. That's the yellow Aes Sedai at the end and her warder in the last couple episodes.
I love them.
Yeah. I love their relationship too.
Mm-hmm.
And then another interesting thing, because we haven't seen a lot of Aes Sedai and their warders fighting together yet, but the few examples that we have seen, Moiraine, Lan, Varen and Tomas, and then Rena and Basan. I mean, we do see a lot of people fighting in the big war scene, but that was very chaotic and hectic and like not really organized fighting, where Basan and Rena prepared to go out there and it's just the two of them. And it was the same with Tomas and Varen, and they fight very differently together. Like they both have very different all three of those groups have very different styles of fighting together as Aes Sedai and Warder. And it was very interesting to go back and look at the three of them. Like Varen standing back, essentially buffing her fighter, her tank that was out in front fighting the monsters, and Moiraine in the thick of it fighting amongst everybody. The same thing with Rena, but Rena fought very differently than Moiraine did. So it was very interesting what they're doing with that, and I hope they stick to that, giving the Aes Sedai and the Warders like very distinct relationship, like stuff, like the way they fight, the way they interact, the way they talk, things like that, and especially the way they channel. Like Rena channels very differently than Moiraine does and Varen does. Yep. So I hope they stick with that, and it doesn't just become very generic. I can't wait to see Aiel channel. I want to see how differently they channel from Aes Sedai.
Yeah, me too.
Is that a globe?
Looks like that.
I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna have to go back, make a screenshot, zoom in, see what's in the globe. The worst. Yeah, this is a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
She had me faked out too. I 100% thought she was the dark friend.
Dark friend, yeah, me too.
Yep.
Oh man, I wanna like be like Rafe. You got me. Whoever wrote her, you got me.
You got me too.
So good.
How do y'all like it being a queen instead of a king?
I like it. I mean, it like it makes more sense. Like I was surprised when there were any kings at all because of the dichotomy between it being more matriarchal in the world because of the taint and Sidene being tainted and stuff like that. When they had any men in charge of anything, I was like surprised. But on the other side of that, I think most of the places where men were in charge were kind of shitty. Like looking back on it, like Tyr, the government was kind of shitty. Kyrian, the government's kind of shitty. Where it's like, it's been mostly men. Like the lords of Tyr, like the people that run Tyr are the lords of Tyr. They're always men. And Tyr kind of sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they one of the first laws. What's up?
I think it's a mirror or something up there. I was trying to look in the background and see if it was a globe. I think it looks like a mirror. Sorry.
A mirror. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna go back and check. So I have problems. But like the Lords of Tyr, one of the first laws that ran changed was noblemen being able to just kill peasants or the common people for no reason. So like, it's a pretty shitty government if you can do that. And then like commoners being able to bring charges against a lord for anything. Like they weren't able to do that before. So like, but then if you look at like Camelin, where it's been ruled by queens for the majority of the time, pretty decent country. Like, you know, they have like a system to help homeless people and like very little poverty and not a lot of like tyranny type things. So yeah. Oh, I know.
Toilet wine.
So did either of you guys go to like sleepaway camp or like?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, is like, I don't know how old, like how, I guess they're in their 20s, so drinking would be normal, but like, you know, young girls.
I did go to I went to band camp.
Uh-oh.
I did too. I played flute. So did I.
I was in the
high school,
guard. I
though.
was flag girl, but we
Flag twirler.
band camp.
I occasionally helped out the cheerleaders throwing them up in the air. So I would come off the field during halftime when we did our homecoming games, and just like take my football shoulder pads off and my jersey off, and they would just throw on like the coat, and then I would go do the throws during halftime, and then run off and put my shoulder pads back on and go back out and play football. I played the clarinet, but they didn't let me play in high school because I couldn't read music. And they were like, you have to learn how to read music. And I'm like, I don't.
I quit when they made me join the marching band. Like, I was in honors band all the way through. And then they're like, you have to join the marching band and wear this hat with like a big giant feather on the front. And I was out.
I had fun in the marching band.
Really? Oh, I was too insecure.
I didn't play an instrument in the band. I mean, I've played instruments, but not in the band.
You did that throwing them flags up in the air is not easy, and catching them and doing all the stuff, like, that's not easy work. But Nomen Garden, it's not just a cup. She brewed it. She made the alcohol. She was like, we're not allowed to drink alcohol here. I'll make my own.
Right.
Here's another drastic change from the books.
Mm-hmm.
Her aunts were loving and caring and, you know, very different from these two women. Though, I think, I hesitate to say more realistic, because obviously there's good people and not everyone has to be a shit. But, you know, people in her standing, you know, especially it being like, this isn't their daughter. These are her aunts that are raising her. Like, you know, if you could see a way to make money, like, off of someone making them a circus sideshow, like, that is what happened. That is what most circus sideshows were full of. Children who were being exploited by their guardians. Another good theory that I've seen, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this, is, so they talk about how Ishamael isn't great in the World of Dreams, in the show and in the books. He's not great at the World of Dreams. But so that thing that just happened where it just jumped like that, people, a lot of people are saying that is like the glitches in Tel'aran'rhiod when Ishamael is manipulating things, because he's not that good at it.
Not really.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that he was just being a creeper, like a weirdo, like
to make her uncomfortable, put her off balance. Yeah.
But I do like the idea that it's like Tel'aran'rhiod, like he's glitching out a little bit because he's not great at it. Okay, yeah, I see that, Maxwell. It was having her at the end when she was unexpectedly being there, and then that's really kind of what made the lie about Gawain's birthday, or her brother's birthday, was the weak point in her story, and that's really what they used to do that. That's the wheel helping them out again, though. Oh, the scene. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the reason why I want to see more Darkhounds, because if there's one thing, and again, Sanaa Hamri, horror, this is horrifying. You know, the Myrddraal in the books have this power to do the shadow stepping, but they use it so rarely in the books. It's pretty much only used in like scenes where Myrddraal are contacting dark friends and like they step out of the shadows behind, like, you know, in the room that they're in or whatever. There's never a fight scene like this where Myrddraal are jumping from shadow to corner, like around the room like this. Like, this is amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So good.
Crazy.
I will say I do hope that we still have talking Myrddraal though. Like, they're not just
screamers.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to be like leading the armies of like Trollocs and stuff like that. So like, and they're shouting orders at the Trollocs in a lot of scenes, and it's poignant in a lot of the scenes that it happens in. Here she is. Okay, do you guys think she set this Myrddraal up to come here to attack them?
Absolutely.
Or is that another one of the Forsaken, Fares, or a Dark Friend or whatever, sending a Myrddraal to attack them?
No, I think it was her.
Okay. I think so too.
Or we get.
Yeah, that's a great question, Glenn. Are we going to get Shader Haran if they don't speak, if the fetches never speak? That's a great point. Like, unless, like, you know, the Shader Haran is the only one that speaks, eyes or something that's different from this version of the Myrddraal. She broke a little there. Celine, Lanfear, Mirren. She has 3 versions of herself that are going on in her head at all times. Celine, and they're distinctly different. Celine, Mirren, and Lanfear. All right, I think it's going to be coming up in a second here. He says that he needs to leave to protect her. So she's like, nah, don't do that shit. You'll see he changes his mind when she walks over and touches his face. And you can see also like his face kind of change a little bit.
Some people think that is the compulsion.
That's what I think.
Well, and it would be incredibly subtle because everything that she does is very subtle. I mean, she snaps a neck with it.
This is Mirren right now too, because Rand just said that he well, in no uncertain words, said that he loved her. They also use that word monster a lot. Like, that's a thing that they, especially in this season. Fares. Here we go. And she touches his face. And then the next thing out of his mouth is, yeah, I'll stay. And look, he's not crying anymore. He's going to relax in his brow in a second, too. She calmed him down from, like, crying, I love you, I need to protect you, to, yeah, I'll stay and let's bone. And then she touched his face again. And then here he is. Like, yeah, okay.
Interesting. I never noticed that. I like that.
And now look, perfectly calm. After the second touch, perfectly calm. And yeah, let's go inside and bone. Oh, that would be awesome, Nomengard. And I really hope we do get that scene. With the ABC maidens, when I forgot which one says it in the books. Dance with me, Shadow Man, when they fight. Oh God. I love the Aiel so much. And did you see the only one of those three that really reacted with Daughter of Night? Maxim was like, as soon as she said Daughter of Night, he was like, a little bit of BDSM. That's okay. It looks like Rand is consenting, so that's okay. And then there's Lanfear. Now she's Lanfear. You see that freaking vein in her damn head?
It's intense.
Yeah. There's a lot there, and that was not there a little while ago in the other scenes. Like when she was vulnerable outside and acting, even when she was acting like Celine and lying to Rand, that was not there. And even you could see around her eyes, there's some makeup there a little bit to make it look like the veins are standing out. Yeah. And there it is.
Oh.
Damn! Maureen!
I audibly went when that happened. Like the first
me too.
I gasped.
Yeah, me too. And I have a good still of this in a minute, but if you pay attention to her eyes, you can see the sa. We'll go through all the screenshots in a little bit, but yeah. I want to bring them up on the full screen and zoom in and stuff. We could do that after the episode's over. Oh my god. I'm going to watch the next episode immediately right now. I love the head pop scene.
Yeah.
Here it is. You see the saw for like a second.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Directed by Sanaa Hamri. Yeah. So good. I really enjoy Lanfear. Like I liked Lanfear in the books, but I've been really enjoying this version of Lanfear. And I don't think there's anything afterwards. Nah, so we could stop the watch party now and switch over to here, and I can get rid of my little timer. Get rid of my little timer. There we go. All right. So good. Do you have any thoughts, like final thoughts on that episode that you want to put out before we switch to full book spoilers?
No, I have to rewatch that last scene again. I didn't see the saw in her eyes.
I have a good still of it. I'll show you.
Okay.
In a second. All right. So if anyone does not want to be spoiled for the we're gonna do we're just gonna do full book spoiler in a minute here. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I'm gonna do a short announcement now, but we're gonna stay on and do full book spoiler talk for like another 10 or 15 minutes, or as long as we have Sharnise, awake brain Sharnise. We don't
because I'm fading.
I know. I want to at least go through the screenshots that we have, but for those who are may leave, I want to have our announcement for next week's guest. Next week's guest will be Lauren from Reading the Pattern. I love him so much. I'm so glad. He's been really busy, but he's got some free time. So
that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited. And he said episode 5 is one of his favorite episodes, so he's very excited, and I'm happy. So I can't wait to hang out with him. And I left Daughter of Night in the thing instead of changing it to Damane. So I have to fix my graphic because I'm bad at my job. Anyway, thank you for anyone who's leaving. When we start our book spoiler thing, I'm going to switch over our little icon. Do full book spoilers. Yay. Okay. So let's get we'll get rid of Rosamund's face, even though I love her face. Let me pull up the image of the saw for you first, and then we will share our screen so everyone gets to look at the screenshot.
I was just thinking about Maureen. This whole season just really shows her power in an entirely different way because she's been cut off from the source. But this episode and the one that we're going to watch next week, I don't know, you just see kind of her full badassery. Like when you really think about the courage it took to, stab her, hoping it was going to work. And she, that could have easily just been her death right there.
And her full commitment. She can't channel right now.
Yep.
Like she's going in there completely naked, essentially, unable to channel.
She's so brave.
Fully understanding the implications of that because she fully understands she fully understands that Lanfear is far more powerful than her. She probably doesn't understand how much really so, but she understands that she's far more powerful than her. So that on top of not even being able to channel a little bit, so brave. So brave. But yeah, so there you go. There's her. You can really see the saw in her eyes in this scene. And this is also right as she starts to heal. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. So like in the books, obviously, the Forsaken could die, and then the Dark One was able to kind of capture their souls, like as they whatever they went through. I always pictured like a and not to be graphic or anything, but basically like a tube, like a waste pipe. And then like, as you died, you went through the thing and maybe you went over here, maybe you went over there, like different tubes going to different, and the Dark One would just be like, nah, no, you're going to come back out. So like the Dark One would snatch their soul as they passed through whatever it is they passed through. And then he would be able to put it, or they would be able to put it into another body. So in the show, it looks like, though, if not maybe just Lanfear, the Forsaken can't die by a normal death blow at the very least, because we do see Ferris die at the end of the season. So what do you guys think about that? And chat too, let me know. I want to know what you all think.
I mean, it's interesting. I'll be curious to see if it is just her. I think I would be less happy with that decision if it is just her. I hope it is all of the Forsaken that can't die by human mortal means.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have to be extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just for like a practical purpose for like television's sake, like you don't want to be replacing actors.
No.
I mean, like, oh, Natasha O'Keefe's Lanfear died. Now we got to go get another actress. Which means I really do hope we get Ferris back. Like, yeah. So we're full book spoiler now. So like, Morden. Like I always thought Ferris version of Ishamael was already more Morden in a sense, because he's collected. Like he's very focused. He's not insane. Like
not erratic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we're gonna need another Timmy. Wheel him out. But yeah, so I hope we get Ferris back. But the one of the big theories that I saw was that it's the true power that is healing her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's channeling the true power, and then through her connection, her literal connection to the Dark One through the true power, that's what heals her. Makes sense too?
Yeah. No, it does.
Like maybe all the Forsaken can do that, because we do know all the Forsaken do have that ability, but I guess we'll see. All right, so let's go to I have these pictures in basically as they appeared order. So like this is obviously, let me get a better screen. Yeah, there we go. So we're a little bit smaller, and you guys can see the pictures better, and I'll hide my head behind the timer here so everyone can see y'all's beautiful faces. Okay. So this is the shot that we got up from when they just before they went into the cave with Lanfear. And obviously, so we said this kind of definitely looks like the Flatiron building here. So let me pull up the Flatiron building real quick. But you could see them kind of juxtaposed to each other. Very much reminiscent to the Flatiron building. Even like the ornate stone in between the windows of the Flatiron building, you could see it here. In the actually, you could see my mouse here. You could see it in these sections here. So I definitely see that. But the other three plinths, and even this one here, you could see some architecture on these as well. Obviously, this whole one looks like a building, but you could see some architecture on these two as well. So pretty cool. I love seeing these little tidbits, throwbacks to the Age of Legends. It makes so. A lot of people are saying that it's another change from the books, but honestly, I know, right? Like the quick shot that we got of this, I agree, Glenn. Like they almost do all look like natural formations, but they do put a lot of attention and detail into these things. And wow, like look at this. Like there's lattice architecture all the way up this thing. The
other one almost looks like a balcony or something up there on the right.
Well, we know whoever built this building then did not build the White Tower because there's no balconies on the White Tower. If we know anything between two engineers, like they will stick with a plan once they like it. But in the books, if you don't know what you're looking at, like as a person walking around, you may not know that thing over there is a ruin. Maybe you think it's a natural rock formation. Obviously, this looks a little crazy to be a natural rock formation, but it would make sense that the characters wouldn't remark on something. But as a viewer watching it, physically being able to see it, we can tell that this is maybe a modern ruin or, a futuristic, since Age of Legends was kind of futuristic, ruin. So I like that they're peppering that in a lot more than is in the books. Like we don't really get it a lot in the books. We get that one scene when Rand is coming out of the waste of like a port city, because you can kind of see like the dock sticking out the side of a mountain or whatever. But this is so much cooler.
Because I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I only have like 20 or 30 screenshots, so we should be able to then we have Fair's unlocking Lanfear. We have Lanfear's seal up here, which they called a moon dial. So that makes sense. Like the different phases of the moon shining through the different sections of the thing.
Is it only a moon dial because it's Lanfear? Or are they all moon dials?
Well, I think maybe her seal maybe just had her symbol on it, and since her symbol is the moon, they maybe just called it a moon dial. Like that's my assumption. That was my immediate assumption. I could just be making that up. Like,
and that's sleepy Sharnise talking right there.
Yeah, no. The other thing that I wanted to point out in this is it seems like he's solely channeling spirit here, because we know this. So this is season 2, and
they colored it.
Yeah, they colored the weaves now. And this color seems to be mostly spirit. I did brighten this up a bit, so there's some of it that's like overexposed that looks green, but trust me, it was yellowish white. So, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is spirit, pure spirit. I had to brighten up all these images, and trust me, even though they're still dark, these are as bright as I can get them without completely distorting them. There's a lot of really, really dark images. But yeah, so here's a better shot of her seal. We obviously have the teardrop. I guess they could confuse that. It's the ancient symbol of Aes Sedai, which is on all of them. It has all the symbols around again, not just hers. So I don't know. I don't know where they get Moondial from. Maybe simply because it's set up like a sundial with the different slots in it and stuff. I don't know. All right. And then we get creepy bloody hand reaching. Again, I did brighten this up, I promise. There we go. Now we get Avenir. This was the scene that someone in chat called out, liking her putting on her armor to Moiraine in the beginning, which I liked. look. And then of course the obsessed version of me is like just looking in the background at all this stuff. Like, what does she got? What does she got? What's her little knickknack on that thing? Is it Quindiar? I don't know. And then I had to take a still of the first person ever in the Wheel of Time going to the bathroom.
Use a bathroom.
Yeah, first person ever. I totally agree, though. I'm not digging the Lan with his hair down. Is it? Does this look like a little almost Native American-y?
When you pull back, the bottom half of it does too. Well, like in one of the other scenes in it, the bottom half kind of felt somewhat Native American.
Okay, that's interesting. I never noticed that before. And then Maureen's blunt from when she was a kid. Yeah. She's just got him still in there from when she was 16. I liked this.
I love support. Yeah, I love that.
This was great. This was a really cool little tidbit that they threw in there.
That headpiece, the bonnet, cracked me up.
Oh, it's
like it
nuts.
almost looks like one of the old school ones you'd put on like an infant, that were very flowery and ornate, but she's obviously like the older sister there, so I thought it was kind of funny.
Also very French. That's a very
very much
very French. All that lace too. Oh, apparently I liked that image. Past Tom took multiple ones. There we go. And then we have Maureen's face. I took this one. That's the moment where she talks about ex-channelers wanting to kill themselves. Like that's when she says that line. So I wanted to catch her face.
Well, she's contemplated it over and over and over again.
There he is. I told you I'd get him for you, Arosa. There he is. I'll just stay here for
pick me, put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. He's got some high pants on. I don't know. Like we just hang out here for a minute. Look at, you can even see her face here. She's like, yep.
Is that what you consider like broad chested? Is that what that is? Because it's very like.
Oh yeah, he's got wide. Yeah. He's got wait. What would they say in the Wheel Time? He's got a wide set shoulders, or he's got wide shoulders or something. They always remark on the shoulders. The women when they're talking about the men, like, oh, look at his shoulders.
Isn't that how Egina talked about Belle Dolman?
Yeah. And then really not much else going on here, except this man right here.
He does look really awkward.
He does look like he's trying to sell himself, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna be your warrior.
Pick me.
Yeah. And then like this is like a plan is coming to fruition, Leandra.
Yeah. That's what this okay, I see what I'm gonna do next.
Again, some more ear armor cuff things, not normal earrings. Oh shit, I never really noticed like the texture difference between what she's wearing here. Oh, fucking sick though. Like I love how it's not just the reds or the greens, because obviously Maureen had that. I forgot what the name of it is, but the thing that she wore in season 1, like that leather bodice deal that she has on. But I like how the Aes Sedai do have like almost leather armor type stuff built into their garb. Very awesome looking. Mm-hmm. Speaking of awesome garb, though I don't like the. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say it also feels kind of armor-ish, like she's it's very that stiff fabric, and it's kind of protecting like her heart and her upper body. I don't know.
You got to protect your neck.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm hearkening back to my 90s rap. Yes. And then there's her interesting earwear. I'm not a fan of her dress in episode 8 though. She's got a dress on that looks very modern, and I wasn't a big fan of it. A burrito dress. I mean, it does look like a wrap if that's what you're nodding toward there. A bolero. Okay, yeah, that's what the Maureen's thing was called that she wore in season 1. That leather bit. It's called a bolero. Thank you, Nomengard. Oh, what they got over here? I want to read it. All right. We'll move on. Sharnise has to go to bed. There we go. There's a better shot of her dress here. Yeah, that does look very armor to me.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. And this was her face where she was like, "Bitch, what are you saying?" Like when Leandrin did some shit to her. Me? Yeah, that was her face. I forgot that I grabbed that one. Like that was a good face. I have a couple of shots here that I was just like, "That's a good face." Like I have a couple of screenshots that I just did because of that. There's another one right there. I see why Rafe married him. I can see why Rafe married him. For those who don't know, this is Rafe's husband. A little bit of nepotism in the world of the Wheel of Time. And what is going on here, Daniel? No. I don't know what happened. Oh, this was when he was like, "Why do they need so much water for bread?" That was when he said this.
His hair's even like curled, flipped out on the end. It's bobbish. Like he's got the little like swoop.
Yeah, sorry. I was having fun when I was doing this because it took a really long time to like pause and get the good screenshot. Oh, here we go. This was another good one. Like obviously she's gorgeous and this is a good shot of her. Again, though, look around her eyes. The crazy vein popping nonsense is not evident here. This is Mirren, or this is either Mirren or Celine.
Yep.
Not Lanfear. But look at him. Look at he's so cute. He's such a summer child right now. He's no idea what's in store.
My sweet summer child.
No idea what's in store for him. No idea. None whatsoever. The other thing that I really like, I forgot what this is called. This type of garb. It's a
stitching.
Yeah, I think it's a Japanese style. Again, he was in Kyrian, so Japanese. But specifically, it's a Japanese style. This type of stitching in a coat. If you look though, it's the colors of all of the threads of the One Power.
Oh, look at that!
And it's on a black background, tainted Zidane. I don't know if that's what they're trying to tell us there, but that is kind of what this looks like. I might just be reading too far into it because I'm a psychopath. And then he's a little angry. Then we get, this is brooding Rand. This is future Rand. And then, just really happy Lanfear. And then this one was because we get to see this statue here. So I called this statue out in Nynaeve's episode, but we couldn't really see it very well. Obviously, we could see it very well here. So a woman holding a pot on her head. So I don't know what the sculptor is trying to tell us with this, but maybe since this is beneath the tower, that's usually like carrying water or something like that. So maybe it's like them holding up the tower. But this is really cool. Again, really cool architecture.
Well, what Noman Garden just said, like when you were washed clean.
Oh yeah, okay. That's them washing the people clean from coming out of the arches. That's a lot of work. So like maybe like that was their plan entirely when they built this chamber. Like it wasn't just, oh, we found these ter'angreal, throw them under the tower so that they're safe. Like they had the plan from the beginning. Though I guess they can grow stone out of the wall of the tower whenever they want.
Yeah.
And then again, the arches look really cool. Oop, whoops, I went back. There we go. The arches look really cool. Like I love the architecture and the filigree and all the little windy, twisty things in the stuff. And there's even, look at this, like stuff we're never going to see, but like the ground even has some stuff going on it too. They really did. The set designers have a really great attention to detail. Oh, this was another just great image. I feel like I want the background of my cell phone to just be this. Right? And then like, look, we have Ivan and Lan very calmly meditating, and then this guy, he's like, "Whoa, you think
just
like,
very?
Yeah. Have I been here long enough yet?
What are we doing?
Yeah. Can I leave? Have I been here long enough?
Are we done yet? Are we done yet? Are we done yet?
Can we see his scars? No, not really. Too far away. All right. And then this is when they were reporting what they, the letter that he took out of Lan's saddlebags.
Yep.
You could see the distortionness of how bright I had to turn this up because this was a really dark one too. I just thought Avenir's hairnet here was was reminiscent to Cad Swain's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I liked it. But that's Avenir again. It was right before this.
It was a
obviously.
gong.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
a
it's a little
gong?
gong. Yep, that's a little gong. It's not a globe. So Japanese, I guess. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, gongs. That makes sense since Kyrene is Japanese and French. 13th, 14th century, I think, something like that. Again, beautiful though. Everything here is great. And this was Maureen's sitting room. What's
Norman
up?
Garden, because Norman Garden knows everything. The sewing
All the things.
coat is sashiko.
Sashiko. Oh, I was right. It is a Japanese style. Thank you, Norman Garden. I love you. And here we go. This tea set here is very traditional Japanese too. You could tell because there's no finger holes on the cups. Like most Japanese tea cups are bowls like that. They don't have finger holes or anything like that on the cups. So I like, oh man, so much attention to detail from these people. I just so great. Oh, and here we go. Two girls sitting
Drinking their toilet wine.
Drinking their toilet wine, yeah. Like Elaine's like, yeah, what's up? And Egwene's like, oh, I'm sorry, I said I was drinking. Like that's like, you could definitely, I get that. This is another one of those I liked their face. Oh, I think this mixed in from next week because this didn't happen. Yeah, I mixed this in. But anyway, we can look at these too because we're full show spoilers too. This is when she knocked out and shielded the girls in the basement. I froze that because we got to see, you know, again, a version of Leandrin's channeling, you know, how she holds her hands. She's not doing like a Kamehameha type thing. It looks a little Tai Chi to me, honestly. And it also looks like it's warping the air around here. Like you see how like the door here is like warped. Even like the air in her hand too. I like that. And then
No, I would not want to do this without you. Always, when we don't know what we're talking about, I'm like, okay, wait, Noam will get us. He'll get us there.
If Noman Garden had $1 for every time I said Noman Garden will know the answer to this, he would be able to try now.
Yep.
We do so appreciate your beautiful wrinkly brain, Noman Garden. All right, we're back to this episode now. I don't know how those other screenshots got mixed in. Apparently, again, I'm bad at my job, but yeah, this is Fair's little thing. Awesome. I just love the way he looks, and this is right after his creepy little glitchy thing that he does. Oh, this one, yeah, this was great. Look at that, so good. Like, that was the other thing too. I'll go back before we leave, but you can see in a second. Oh, you could see it here too. The black intertwined with the red wire weaves for Saidin. You don't see that when Ishamael channels. I mean, obviously, you know, you would think we wouldn't, but that is another thing that they did. You do not see the taint intermixed with the male channelers for Saidin that are Forsaken. So I hope they talk about that.
That's the great Lord's protection.
Yeah. I hope they dive into that. Yeah, I've said that to Glenn so much. So Glenn said, whatever they do with the channeling visuals, I still think by season 8 we should know what someone is weaving on a lot of weaves before the effect kicks in. So I've been saying that too. Like basically, if Maureen does this, like she's gonna throw a fireball. Like we know because every time she does a fireball, she does the same hand. I've been saying that from the beginning. I really hope they develop like a language with the way they weave.
Yeah.
And I think I've called it out before, but if anyone hasn't seen it, it's a great show. So go check it out. The Magicians. It gets a little shark jumpy toward the end, but the first 3 or 4 seasons are a lot of fun. If you watch it on Netflix, it's TVMA. There's a lot of sex and violence and stuff like that and cursing. So if you aren't into that, don't watch it. But the way they use magic in that, is they do like finger tutting. So like I don't know if you've ever seen like ravers and stuff where they do crazy finger stuff, but they had a professional, like super really good finger tutting expert come in and choreograph with each actor individually, basically a different dialect of doing spells.
Wow.
But when they do spells, like if a spell has fire in it, it will always have a similar specific finger motion. So all of the actors, whenever they do a spell that has fire involved in it, do a similar finger motion. So you can tell. So I hope they do something like that with channeling. Or at the very least, stay consistent with what they do. Like if they don't want to go that deep with it, like make it be consistently when Maureen does this, she does that. And then the next time she does the same weave, she does the same thing. That's all I really want, to be honest, because I'm a giant nerd. And here's Lanfear standing behind Rand, basically using him as a weapon. I could see the meaning to that here. There's not a lot of taint here either. You don't see a lot of... Oh, no, there's a little bit. You see a little bit. A good image too, though. And there it is. Right to the sword popping out of it. Like, this is another great face. They were like, all right, look like this. I don't know what direction you give someone to make this face. But that was sorry. She looks like...
You're surprised and you're dying. Go.
Yeah. This is almost a little too like she's liking it. A little bit. And
okay, Glenn, I kind of felt that too. When I was watching the scene, especially tonight, that the way she was looking at his back, it was almost like she was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Like she's looking
like, and
at
her eyes kind of move as the weaves move.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then Moraine being a badass fucking Navy SEAL. I don't know, fucking sneaking up behind people, cutting their throats. And then here we are again. So this is pre-Saw, so you could really see the difference here. So like pre-Saw, and then Saw.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
I see it now.
You really see the difference between those.
Wow. It can almost be, if you're not looking closely, just like blood, you know, it almost kind of looks like blood until you zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. That just made me really happy.
In the scene too, they actually move. They don't just pop in her eye; they move. They're like little amoebas twisting and poking around in there.
I love when they do things for us, because that's most likely not going to get explained.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like maybe not, maybe never, and that's just for the book readers. You know, there definitely is a lot of things that he does with that. And before you go. Before we wrap up the show, I want to give everyone another little quick montage of images that I had for this episode. The last time we did this, I guess, Kev, everyone knows Kevin, Angus from, the ether of the Wheel of Time. So I have in this just a series of Trolloc nipples, and then just a couple other nipples. So we have Trolloc nipple right here, nip over here. And then Trolloc nipple here. And these are greatly brightened up because these were very dark. Another couple of nipples here. Nipple. And then just lots of, they're everywhere here. Like anywhere you look, you got a Trolloc nipple. Here's another one. But this is from season 1. But I just went back and found as many Trolloc nipples as I could find for Kevin. And then this was from the behind the scenes, the making of the Trollocs. We got digital nipples. Mm-hmm. And then Dad bod Trolloc.
Love Dad bod Trolloc.
Yeah.
Your belly, I like it.
Yeah.
Wait, which one is Bebop? Is Bebop the boar from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or was it Rox? Yeah, Bebop is the boar, right? Yeah, Bebop. He looks just like him, the one from the boar mutant from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's either Bebop or Rocksteady. I think it's Bebop. And then the bird Trolloc, more nipples. And his handler, that's his handler. She's in a bunch of scenes with him, like fixing his horns, putting makeup on and stuff. Yeah, there she is. Oh no, yeah, it's the same one, but she took her hat off. We did a deep dive on this. And we looked at her sweatshirt. It was the same sweatshirt. And of course,
nipple.
More digital nipple. this scene they were helping him up off the ground. But look, you can see this is the same guy as. Mm-hmm. So this is a digital version of him, but see his horns?
Mm-hmm.
No horns because they made them removable so they don't hurt the actors when they fall on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. And then this was the when Nynaeve hid in the pool in the cave.
Yep.
So, but this is a really good shot. The practical effects on these Trollocs are fantastic. I'm so glad they stuck with doing heavy practical effects too in the show. And then we get to end with land nipples. Daniel,
see how much better he looks with his hair up and back. Like so good, so good.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Well, I will, and we'll end with land nipples. Sharnise, before we sign off, is there any things that you would like to promote or push out there before we sign out?
No. White and Color is still on hiatus.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay. Well, I want to put out, just in case, I don't know if Arosa is still with us. Arosa, if you're still with us. So Sharnise is also in the New York area, and she runs the Mocha Girls Read book club. So I'm going to put the link to their website here. And I don't know where you're at, Arosa, in New York. I know you're in the tri-state area as well. I don't want to, put out your information on the internet, so I'm not going to say exactly where. But you should check out her book club, and if it's somewhere nearby and something you're interested in, maybe we can recruit a new person to your book club here. Mocha Girl.
So I lead the first Saturday virtual meeting, so you can be anywhere. But I'm also about to go back to additionally in-person meeting as well.
Awesome.
It'll be in Harlem.
Okay. I just posted the link to Mocha Girls Read, the main website here. So you can, if you go there is like a list of all of the places there. So if you're near any of them, they're all over the country actually. So check it out. Maybe, if you are though it is all female, right? It's
no men allowed.
Yeah, no men allowed. So we have enough spaces for us. So don't worry about that. So if you are a female here and you would like to go to a book club that is all
you're just not a male.
Yeah. As long as you're not openly a male or outwardly facing a male, you can attend. So go check that out.
And this is the link to my
specific one.
It didn't post.
I have I'll get the Harlem one. I have that too.
Meetup.com/Mocha Girls Read Harlem.
There you go. I had it saved. Yeah, there it is. Aha. I had it say it's forever in my browsing history. Google will have it forever in my browsing history now.
Yeah. So So anybody
make sure. Go check it out.
Oh, that's how you join us through Meetup.
And you guys are about to start Verity.
We finished Verity. We finished Verity. We talked about Verity. We are now reading Dawn by Octavia Butler.
Oh, okay. Oh, Octavia Butler. Okay, cool. And ignore the title of the episode, but again, to remind everybody, next week, Lauren from Reading the Paranormal will be with us on January 15th, and it's episode 5. We're not going to watch episode 4. All right, I love all y'all awesome nerds. Sharnise, go get some sleep, and
shower first and then sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wait, what do we say? Kwaherini. That's another Swahili word. They don't like to say goodbye in their culture. It means go well.
Kwaherini.
So say goodnight, Crystal.
Good night, Crystal.
Perfect.